British farmers have developed a high productivity sheep industry, but with high costs. Top New Zealand farmers have also developed a high productivity sheep industry, grazed outdoors year-round and with much lower cost. Can British sheep farmers use the right genetics from New Zealand to get the best of both worlds? High productivity with lower costs. This DVD shows a farmer discussion group riding around Wairere, New Zealand's largest ram breeder. Wairere has averaged sales of more than 4,000 rams per year over the past 5 years. And Wairere rams typically service 100 ewes each or more. This will be the first cost saving available to you. Our central flock is run on medium to steep hill country. Wairere has 10,500 sheep and 400 beef cattle, mainly cows, heading into the 2010 winter on 1,070 hectares of all grass wintering. Sheep are mob stocked and rotationally grazed most of the year. Wairere is a good commercial testing ground, winter wet, summer dry, and with a wind run averaging year-round 35 kilometres per hour on the high points, or 22 miles per hour. The high points run up to 530 metres or 1,750 feet above sea level. New Zealand farmers need sheep with strong constitution, capable of bouncing back after a hard time. Most New Zealand farmers use no supplementary feed, so sheep have to thrive on grass alone. At Wairere, ewe hogs have to get in lamb to be retained. All ewe hogs have been mated since 1966 and are lambed unshepherded.
At lambing time, you know, the sort of workload there with lambing, do you do much in that period, or you just leave them alone?
No, that's probably something we used to do.
You make your hoggets, I think?
Yes, we do, yeah. 3 years we've done that. Scanning about 120% for the last 3 years. Last year they lambed about just on 90%. No shepherding, really. If we have to pull one, and yeah, that's it, we walk off.
Once we've set stock to use, it's time for maintenance or break feeding cattle, and we hardly look at the sheep until docking.
Up to 7,000 ram lambs each year have been measured for eye muscle area. Our national sheep recording scheme is based on number of lambs reared, growth rate to weaning and post-weaning, and some value given to meat yield, a little to wool. As the popularity of Wairere rams grew over the past 20 years, ewe numbers were expanded via satellite flocks. There are now around 21,000 ewes involved in the Wairere ram breeding program and 3 selling centres through New Zealand. How can Wairere Romneys be used in the UK flock? Our sheep are more fertile than the English Romney. A flock can scan over 200% if the ewes are well fed. Wairere rams mated to mule ewes will produce progeny with maximum hybrid vigour for the growth rate of prime lambs, but also produce ewe lambs which could be kept as flock replacements. These half Wairere ewes should be hardier than mules and should lamb with very little assistance. Outdoor lambing becomes much easier if you have a type of sheep which has been bred for it.
The Romney is my preference for a sheep, mainly because of its constitution. Chris Garland, when I was on the farm, couldn't believe how well the Romneys withstood short grass farming, as he used to call it, how they maintained their constitution.
I buy the higher index rams, yeah. So I suppose you could go maybe look at the $5,000 I spend a year, 4 to 5, and see what I get back, probably anything between $250,000 and $300,000.
They do give you the results at the end of the day, and I guess the bank tells the stories.
We're selling around about 10,000 lambs, all prime, and so that's about a good 80% increase in lambs.
Now in our 4th year, and happy to say we're getting very good results.
This last year we did 150%. It's the first year we've done that, but it's been a gradual increase. I think when I came here they probably hadn't done 100% before. its performance, its service, a lot of investment in future genetics, and Derek and his team have a very good eye or vision of where the industry can go.
Trying is believing. We welcome you to talk to Chris and Caroline Hodgkins of Sussex and their team. They believe in these Wairere sheep. They want to see them trialled in a large number of UK flocks. They will have a deal for you.
So you imported these rams from New Zealand?
These rams were air freighted over 4 years ago.
Goodness me.
Which was
and that isn't something that happens very often, is
well,
it?
It was the first sheep they'd seen into Heathrow for 20 years from New Zealand. So it was, yes, it was quite an occasion for us. If we were to catch, we could catch. Do you want to catch him, or we'll try and catch him?
Go on then.
I mean, the condition on the things are immense.
All right, let's go. Come on. Oh, look at the size of him.
This fella's just come back in from Tuppet. You know, he's not a bag of bones, is he?
Incredible, and he's how old? Amazing. You got him?
Yeah, I've got it. So that's
here we
go. 3 on him just there.
Yeah, so born in 2003. And so you want a ram that produces ewes that are going to produce lots of lambs.
Yes.
Really hardy.
Yes.
And great survivors. So they can live off anything.
Yeah.
He's really in good condition, isn't he?
In good condition.
He served 120 ewes this year. Let's let him go. Look at him.
I mean, the back end on him's good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on these tups. And are you pleased you went to all the effort and expense to get tups all the way from New Zealand? You don't think the genetics was in this country?
The genetic pool is so much bigger over there, and they've been doing exactly what we want to do for the last 60 years. So it was a way of us cheating. They've been doing it for so many years, for the last 60 years, so you could actually just buy into it. You know, they'd honed the product up more or less. They're doing exactly what we want to do anyway. So it made an awful lot of sense just to go straight in. You know, we're trying to get to the top of the heap all the time.
The ultimate sheep.
The ultimate sheep for our system. I mean, it's not a system. I said that was shoot everybody for our system. We want the sheep to do the work rather than us to do the work.
We think that big sheep flocks down in the lowlands are perhaps missing a trick. We spend a lot of money on food and labour, mollycoddling our sheep, whereas these animals have been bred for hundreds of years to be very self-sufficient up here. And there's something to be learnt from that. Come back. But herdwicks aren't the perfect solution, as they tend to only have single lambs. But hundreds of miles south, there may be an answer. I'm on my way to visit a couple who believe they've cracked it and found the ultimate commercial sheep. And it's a Romney that's originally from Kent, but theirs are a little bit special. Chris and Caroline Hodgkins farm Romneys in West Sussex, but they've imported rams all the way from New Zealand. So what's the plan now then?
These are going for scanning, so basically what we're doing is just getting them a little bit closer to home.
The Kiwis have spent decades selectively breeding Romneys to be hardy and have lots of lambs outside, making them the obvious choice for the Hodgkins when they wanted to move to an outdoor lambing system. The ground isn't that lush, is it?
That's one of the reasons why we've got the Romney. It's a very forage-based animal. It'll make use of second quality grass, because if I'm honest, we haven't got top quality grass.
Bred to be easy to shepherd across the vast hills of New Zealand, these Romneys are ideal for the Hodgkins, whose farm is spread over 25 miles. A lot of land to cover, isn't it?
It is a lot of land to cover.
We've got a good system now there.
But I mean, what we're relying on is the maternity ability of the sheep. That's what we've actually focused on, and that's what we've bred for. So we've gone to a sheep that'll actually do the job herself, as opposed to us doing the job.
This self-sufficiency, combined with lots of lambs, makes it possible to have big flocks with low maintenance. How many ewes are you running?
This year we would have touched 3,200.
3,200?
Yeah.
Crikey. That's a lot of sheep, isn't it?
It's an awful lot of sheep.
I suppose, you know, over history, the little primitive breeds, the Soays and the North Ronaldsays, you know, they've learnt to look after themselves.
Exactly so.
And we've sort of gone away from that probably too much over the years, haven't we, in sheep farming?
Which is why we're going back to this with the Romneys again. Nature intended a ewe to look after her own lambs. Lamb it by herself, look after it by herself. And that's what we're trying to do.
But it's not entirely left to nature. Just like the Kiwis before them, the Hodgkins are careful to select the strongest sheep to continue improving and developing the flock.
What we're looking for really with our is a big-bodied sheep. If you look at them, there's quite a lot of gut thing there, especially look at this one.
Yeah.
Being a forage-based animal, that's what we want. We're looking for a slightly narrower head, slightly narrower shoulders, all really pointing towards something that's going to give birth very easily as such.
They are really deep-bodied, aren't they?
They are,
Some
yeah.
of them,
I mean,
you know, fantastic.
Yeah, you look at sort of this.
Let's see if we can get hold of one. There you go. Oh, you must have been a rugby player.
That's the son.
What a lovely ewe, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean
The depth of that body.
Yeah, which is all. I mean, she's in. If you look at her, you know, the condition of the thing, she's
middle of the winter and she's as fat as a pudding.
Yeah, they do well.
Let's let her go. And here you are selecting for a lot of maternal instincts and shape and the way she works as an animal.
Yes.
But primarily you're producing lamb for the table.
Yes.
Have they got the minerals to produce, you know, good lambs for the table?
Producing a very good lamb. You know, I mean, New Zealand does sell the odd lamb or two.
So now you've moved away from indoor lambing, you've got your Romneys and you're lambing outdoors.
Yep.
Do you like it?
We love it. It means that we can lamb the sheep, look after the sheep, go to bed at night at 7. We don't look at them in the evening after dusk, and we get up in the morning and look at them. We've got a good lifestyle and a good sheep, so we've got the best of both worlds.
So you're not sitting up all night with them?
No.
Our losses, even during a bad night, wouldn't be excessive at all. They tend to choose where they're lambing, underneath a hedge perhaps somewhere. She would be there for 24 hours before she lambs. She has her lambs there. Her lambs know, they've got their spot. She knows where they are. Everybody's settled. It's an eye-opener, and it does work. I mean, it's a super sensible system.
I have to say, it's hard to see a downside. Could this be an end to all those sleepless nights in the lambing shed?